Your mind wants to be pulled into this moment so badly. That is why you're scrolling YouTube. That's why you're scrolling Instagram. That's why you're trying to buy new stuff all the time and trying to get to the new stuff. It's because your mind really just wants something that fascinates it so much that it pulls it into the moment. And that's what we're all chasing. We're all chasing something external to pull us into the now, pull us into the moment. And the way this manifests itself oftentimes is you'll see people say, like, they were left completely in awe by seeing some huge mountain, or, by the time that they got married or whenever they had their child or something like that. Something that really pulls them into the moment. Because what's happening whenever you are really pulled into the moment is you stop thinking, your brain stops, and that's a pleasurable thing. You tend to really enjoy that, these elevated moments of consciousness where you're sort of above your mind, and your mind isn't going anymore. It's not thinking. You're not really asking questions in your mind about what you're looking at. You're just simply processing it. And those moments are what people call being stopped in their tracks or in complete awe. Whether it be getting married or having a child or seeing some beautiful landscape, whatever it is, these moments that fully pull us into the now are what really everyone's chasing. That's why people buy new stuff. People go and buy new stuff because when they get into their car, they begin to feel bored by it. They're not really fascinated by anything. They're used to all of the bells and whistles of this car, and so they need to go get a new one, because when they get into this new car, the screen lights up differently. It feels different with the controls. Everything just feels and looks different, and whenever something's different, it pulls us into the moment. When we travel and we're seeing new things and we're seeing different things, you're not really on autopilot anymore because you're processing all this new information, and your body loves whenever you are pulled into that moment. That's what everybody's chasing. And when you realize that, you can realize that you can just be pulled into the moment right now. Like, you don't have to wait to be in Spain in order for you to be pulled into the moment. You don't have to wait until you are at Mount Everest for you to be pulled into the moment. You can just pull yourself into the moment in your daily life. But what a lot of people are doing is they are outsourcing their consciousness. They're outsourcing it to some external thing. That's why you're always chasing. That's why you're running so much. That's why you're always searching for something else, searching for a new exciting video, searching for a new movie, searching for a new book, searching for something that's really just going to be the thing that gives you your new external fix. Because when you're really in the flow, you're really feeling something, you're really enjoying something, your brain stops thinking for a moment and you're pulled out of your thoughts. That's what you're chasing. That is the high that you want to feel, right? Whenever you download a new video game, you love it when you just can get lost in it, when you really become addicted to a game and the days just fly by. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for that time where you can just zone out. And all zoning out is you're not thinking anymore. But whenever you become bored with your external environment, your external circumstances, you no longer are processing things as new. And so your mind starts to think again, because everything's just become background noise. Everything around you has become background noise. And so then your mind is like, okay, well, I have nothing to do. I guess I'll think. And so the solution to all of this isn't to just keep finding new things externally. It's not to, turn around and start running away and traveling for forever, or to constantly rearrange your room just so that you can start to process your room a little differently. I mean, think about that. People will literally rearrange their room just to have something different to look at, so that their brain can stop thinking for a minute, to give them something new to look at. That's how desperate we are, just for something to make us turn our thoughts off. But the solution to all of this is pretty simple. You just have to learn how to have consciousness within the moment and not externalize the elevation of your consciousness. Now, that sounds sort of hokey pokey, so let me just kind of break this down a little bit. What your mind wants is for you to be the one that learns how to get above your mind and pull yourself into the moment right now. And you can do that. I do that every single day. I had an amazing morning. It is a regular Friday. And this morning, when I sat down with my coffee and I had my time in silence, I pulled myself fully into the moment. Fully. I was fully there. My body was completely relaxed, and I felt as euphoric as I did when I saw the Coliseum, or as euphoric as I did whenever I had my first child. Now, that might seem crazy and that might sound wild, but I'm telling you, it's possible for you to pull yourself into what you consider to be a regular day. Because when you get above your mind and you get into a level of consciousness, what you'll realize is there's no such thing as a regular day, because that implies that this day is just the end of a constant stream of other days. But what you begin to realize is that this moment is all that there is, and in this moment is existence, is creation, is life itself. And you start to look at everything around you and see that we're all existing at the same time. All of existence is happening together. And when you get to that point and you really feel that and you experience that, everything just starts to become fascinating. Like, I was at the zoo yesterday with my wife and daughter, and I'm looking at this giraffe, and I'm seeing planes fly overhead, and I'm like, what the freak is this? Where are we? What world are we in? And everybody looks bored. I'm like, there are planes flying overhead, and there's like a giraffe in front of us. Do you realize how insane all of this is? How insane humanity is? How insane our push is? The fact that do you have any idea how this video is getting to you? Do you know anything about how this is all being shot into space through some, ray that none of us understand? And then we all pretend like we understand what's going on with the internet, but none of us actually do. A video is being shot over the internet, and it's like an invisible wave. What the freak is that about? That's insane. That's unbelievable. But that is just the human side of things. When you start going beyond humanity and you start to think, wow, the internet exists. Dude, not only does the internet exist, you exist. Like, think about the fact that you exist. That is insane. And so you today can experience the feeling and the joy of existence. You can sit here and go, wow, my consciousness exists. The planet exists. Life is here. And what you'll begin to accumulate is vitality or love for life, a passion for life, a passion for being alive. Because you'll realize that it's a blessing, that you are an eternal soul, and you have been placed in a temporary body, and you've been allowed to rediscover creation. And you're rediscovering it right now. And it's freaking crazy, man. Existence is insane. Existence is nuts. And you don't realize that all the feeling of newness, the feeling of seeing a landscape, the feeling of having a child, all of this new stuff that pops into our mind, getting a new iPhone, all of this, it's hinting, it's pointing at something bigger. It's a reflection. I know this wasn't the point of his, whole story here, but it's like Plato's cave. All of those things are just shadows. Creation is just a shadow. Right? All of these things, all of the feelings of newness, these are all just shadows. The real big point, the really big thing that's casting the shadow is consciousness, existence, eternity, and all of it's right here, right now. And so if you can train your mind to sit in silence and learn to be here, and this isn't the place to really learn all the practices that you need. There's plenty of things that you can learn about, hey, how can I just learn to be here? How can I learn to be present? When you learn to be present, you will start to turn around from the shadows and look at the thing casting the shadow, which is existence and consciousness. And you can never, drink up all that's there. It's a bottomless pit. Jesus says you'll have a peace that's beyond all understanding, because you're not scared of shadows anymore. You start to see everything, politics, the stock market, people, friends, everything is just a shadow. It's all a shadow. Existence, consciousness, life itself is beyond our human understanding and words and our ability to articulate it. And it's fascinating and it's beautiful. And when you tap into that, I know I get so fired up, dude. Every time I record one of these videos, I tell myself I'm going to be chill. I'm going to be like nonchalant. But then my heart rate starts going and I get really fired up. But I need to just round this up. Look, life is beautiful, dude. Today can be beautiful. Today can be amazing. It can be transcendent. It can feel like the very first day of your life. And you're not going to think your way into that. You don't stop trying to think your way into consciousness. You cannot think your way into consciousness. It's like it's like hiring the arsonist to find the one who set the fire, okay? You cannot think your way into consciousness. You need to stop thinking. And the way that you stop thinking is you learn to let go of the thoughts. When a cloud passes over, do not jump up into the thought with your head in the clouds and pass with it. Observe the thought, watch the things happen, watch them pass. And when you do that, what you begin to do is you acknowledge your thoughts, but you detach yourselves from them and you just let it flow. You just let it go. And when that happens, you're in the moment, you're present, you're observing, you are seeing that you are the watcher, you're seeing that you are consciousness, and it's going to feel unnatural, but that's how you begin to grow your consciousness. You grow your level of awareness. And from there, you start to realize that existence is amazing, consciousness is unbelievable, and we live on such an amazing planet at an amazing time. What is time? Who knows? Everything's a mystery. Life is great. Let's lean into it and let's enjoy what the freak we have going on here. I feel like I'm losing my mind because I just see people, souls, human souls, who have been given a chance to come down and rediscover who and what they are. We've given this opportunity by God to discover him. And when we start to discover something, we realize we can't discover anything. And that's the beauty of the mystery, that in our minds, we can't comprehend it. Jesus is constantly talking about this. God says, or the Bible says, that my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. My ways are higher than your ways. And it's kind of like what I'm trying to describe to you is like trying to describe a color that doesn't exist. I'll never be able to describe it. And if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But that has to be the point. That has to be the direction that you're aiming this. And I know this sounds hokey, but it's not hokey. There's so many books you can read. I would start with The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Start with that. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, okay? That's the first book that you can read. It's very easy to read. Most books written by people who have understood this realize that there's no need to fluff up pages and write a bunch of junk. You read a lot of these self-help books, and they're like 300 pages long because that's an editor who is telling them that they need to stretch all this out. People who have realized this information, or not realized, they've just realized this in general through their consciousness, they don't feel the need to stretch this out. They're going to get straight to the point. So there's so many things out there that you can use your mind as a tool to guide you to this point. But that's all your mind is. Your mind is a tool for accomplishing tasks. Stop trying to let your mind be the thing that is guiding your life. You are meant to guide your mind. Your mind is not meant to guide you. Stop leveraging your mind for tasks that it was never built to try and pull off, because that's why you're so exhausted, because you're putting your mind under the strain and pressure of things it was never supposed to be used for. You're wondering why you're so tired. It's because you're trying to use your mind as like a future prediction device. And you wonder why you feel exhausted. Dude, your brain is not meant to tell the future. You don't have that ability. You don't have that capacity. Your brain is nothing more than a tool for accomplishing tasks. Okay, your brain is meant to engineer, build bridges, put us on the moon, and do whatever, allegedly, and do whatever else that you want to do, okay? But your brain was not meant to carry the spiritual and emotional weight of your entire life and be the thing leading you, okay? It's like letting a child take the wheels of a car. No matter how powerful your brain can be, it's not meant to be in control of your consciousness. Your consciousness is meant to be in control of your brain, and that's what your brain wants. Your brain is the child that's looking over at you saying, I guess I'll keep driving if you let me, but I don't really feel like I should be doing this. So you need to get into your consciousness. I've spoken too much. I need to chill out. But I'm right about this, okay? Trust me. And it's not that I'm right. It's that I've discovered this, and I want you to experience it as well, okay? I need to chill out.